It's time for Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook. Warhorse Sportsbook, no bets, no glory. Make sure you go check out warhorsecasino.com to get all the promotions and the full list of house rules of all the ways you can get involved. Bet on nearly every major sporting event at Warhorse Sportsbook. DB?
Yes?
There was an NFL football game last night.
No way.
There was. And you know what?
Yes?
What did we say about that line before that game?
Well, I would have been wrong, so I said it was too low.
You said it was stinky.
Yeah.
It was a stinky line.
Just wasn't enough.
What have I said about stinky lines in the past?
You are a lot like Brian Edwards. You're willing to take the fool's gold.
There is two reasons it's a stinky line, right? Either Vegas knows something we don't, or it's free money. And here's
kidding.
And here's why I get burned. Here's why I get burned. Because sometimes it is free money.
Yeah, yeah.
Like sometimes the numbers.
It was incredible.
Sometimes the number's just wrong.
Like who in the world? I said this yesterday. Like who's even going to be a functional quarterback for the Cowboys?
No one, apparently. No one.
7.5?
I think you could have got it at 7 at one point yesterday.
Yeah, I would have been dead wrong.
Because
I would have been like.
Because that was so stinky, you'd have been like,
I'd have been like Cowboy up.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because at home, you're like,
and they did some dumb things at times when you felt like they were on the verge of scoring.
Of having an opportunity. Yeah. For sure.
It's just.
But that's what bad teams do.
They're awful.
They're really, really bad. They were bad before Dak got hurt.
Yeah.
Now they're disastrously bad. And the sky is both literally and figuratively falling in Dallas. That's why I struggle, though, because every time we do this, every Thursday or Friday where we do this, and we're like, oh, that line's stinky. I'm like, you bet it is. And you're like, I'm going this way. And I was like, give me the free money. It's because sometimes there is free money.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they just miss the line.
And you're a risk analysis guy.
Yeah.
So you're going to err on the gimme side more often than not.
Yes, because it's
the overthinking.
Because I don't know if it's overthinking, but it's riskier, right, to bet on the team that you think is worse because the number doesn't strike you right, right? Especially when the alternative is, I think the Texans are 14 points better than the Cowboys, and you're telling me they only have to win by 7?
Yeah.
Like the risk analysis in my brain is like, that sounds terrific.
That's some Brian Edwards tough stuff.
Maybe me and B need to hang out a little bit. I don't know if I can mess with the Budweiser bottles, but
he's great. Man,
yeah.
He chilled. We were together almost all night. But when it comes to like capping and watching and results, he didn't drink one thing.
Yeah, no, he's on it.
He's just like a funny, easy. He's a little guy.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah. He's not Shane Little, but he's a little guy.
Little guy?
Yeah. But I mean, he's great.
I can't wait to talk to him this week about Billy Napier. I'm so excited. Every time I find myself rooting for Florida so hard just so I could go talk to Brian Edwards about Billy Napier.
Hey, can I ask you something, speaking of Bet On It? And I know they got a win last night, Milwaukee. Who's the first coach to get fired?
So here's the problem with Milwaukee, right, is you already did the firing the coach thing. That's how you ended up with Doc.
Yeah, I know. But
so are you going to do – I mean, are you going to do it again?
They're not very good.
No, they're not, and firing Doc doesn't fix that.
Hey, how would you like to be coaching in Philadelphia with Embiid?
Terrible. I would hate it. It sounds like it's the worst thing in the world.
Do the fans like Joel Embiid? I thought he was like the mayor.
You thought it was like their guy.
Wasn't it like him or Hurts? Like whose city was that?
Yeah, and I think people leaned Embiid. That dude's a tough hang. Like Embiid is a tough hang. For as good as he is, that dude is a tough hang. And now they're 2-11.
Although I'm not gonna lie, man, I would have probably socked that reporter.
Oh, 100%.
Because he was way out of bounds.
100%.
Way out of bounds.
Like that is you're throwing hands immediately.
Yeah, way out of. And there's never any repercussions. Like
no, there's not. Except for apparently, every once in a while, Joel Embiid will push you in a locker room. But
well, I mean, don't you? Like, that guy shouldn't be. He shouldn't be writing.
No, you got to pull a credential there.
That was wrong.
Like you got to pull a credential.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with what we're talking about, a couple weeks ago, Joel Embiid got suspended for shoving a reporter who made light of his brother's death in order to make a point about how Joel Embiid doesn't play basketball enough.
Yeah.
It was pretty out of pocket and way out of line. And this is, I mean, to be fair, like, and we do this job too, so I understand it can seem a little.
Yeah, but we would get reprimanded.
We would get reprimanded, but there's often.
I thought when Bill came in here the other day, he was mad. He was mad at me of me saying that I like low key threatened you. I was like, oh shoot, he's in a good mood. Hi, good to see you.
I don't even remember you threatening me. It just rolls off my back.
Well, it happens like 5 times a show.
You're just like, I'm gonna choke the life out of you. I'm like, okay, DB.
How close? Be honest. How close was Shane to being on the receiving end?
Oh, it's pretty close. I think
do you wonder sometimes?
If I had to bet on it, I probably would have taken the. I'd have taken that Jon Jones line.
Yeah, how much would that Aspinall fight be?
Oof.
You know what? And B. Edwards and I, we argued about this. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
He thinks Aspinall would be not only he be favored, but would win the fight.
How? I mean, I still don't know how Bones was an underdog this week or this weekend.
He wasn't.
Yeah. No, for the knockout. For the knockout.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I was looking at plus 220 for the knockout.
No.
Yeah. So B. Edwards thinks he would be a straight up underdog.
Yep.
Just to win.
Yeah, younger, bigger fighter. Much younger.
Yeah. I mean, Jones is 36?
He'll be 37, yeah.
So, I mean, like, he's getting up there. He's been doing this a while. It's not like he's lived the cleanest, easiest life.
No.
Right? You know, there's been some public.
I don't know if I would ever make Jon Jones an underdog in anything.
I don't know if you can until he loses, right?
He's a scary human being.
Isn't his only loss a DQ?
Yeah.
It's like the dude's never lost a fight.
No.
Like not lost a fight.
And he wouldn't on the streets either.
No.
Because he's not one of those fake, like, he's truly like fringe.
Yeah.
He's had multiple run-ins.
Yeah. That's not a guy that I want to run into on the street.
Yeah, multiple run-ins.
There's some of these, and listen, and they could beat me up. I'm 100% sure. But there's some of these, especially like the ground game guys, whether it's like the grapplers or the jiu-jitsu guys, where you're like, I don't know how useful that's going to be in a street fight. You know what I mean? Like, I get on this side of TikTok where you're like, what does it look like when a guy who trains in BJJ gets in a street fight and he, like, sits down and starts scooting toward the guy? And it's really, really funny. And they could absolutely choke me out and make me, pass out. But it's really funny. Whereas, like, Jon Jones, you're like, yeah, no, he'd kill you on the street.
Yeah, like
kill you dead. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how you make that guy an underdog until he shows he's actually capable.
And he truly does hate Aspinall. He just doesn't want to. And I've seen Bud is like this with some
He doesn't want to
guys.
give him the shot.
He just doesn't want to give him a free payday.
Because nobody gave Bud the shot coming up.
Just doesn't want to give him a free payday.
Like, you know how much longer it took for Bud to become a star because people didn't want to fight him?
My man is like touring the world, though.
Yeah, I follow him on like Instagram and stuff, so I see.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I see all of his.
Isn't he something?
Oh, he's great. Yeah, I love Bud.
Me too.
I've met him a couple times, mostly at Summer League when he used to play pickup all the time. Yeah. But so I don't like know him like you do, but I love that dude.
I'll give you a couple freebies tonight. You want one?
I like freebies. I like free money.
You'll know, and you know this matchup very, very well.
Okay.
It's not going to happen until 8, which is weird because I can't remember. Is Milwaukee on? Are they EST?
No, they're Central. Milwaukee Central.
So this one doesn't tip until 8.
Ooh, Marquette.
Lay the 4.5.
Marquette Purdue.
Lay the 4.5. What, you want to boil her up? You like who was my favorite Purdue fan in Lincoln? Is it Greg?
Yeah. Greg's a pretty guy in Lincoln.
Yeah. Are you team Greg in Lincoln?
I'm team I really hate Marquette. So I'm having a hard time being objective here.
Well, you hate being objective, don't you?
I don't hate it. It's just hard. It's hard for me.
Do you know who you couldn't be?
It's hard for me.
Me with this secondary situation going on in Nebraska.
No.
I need some Tums.
Yeah,
take the Golden Eagles.
You what? I like Purdue better.
Yeah, well,
I'm having a hard time.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
I'm having a hard time being objective here because I do hate me some Shaka Smart.
But as stingy as you are, I know you love money more.
I do, but I'd rather just not play it than. Although Marquette's up to 5.5 now.
Is it?
Yeah, I might take some Boilermaker. I don't know. That might be a stay away for me. I'm too emotionally caught up with Shaka Smart to make good decisions. That's why I can't bet on UConn either. Hate me some Danny Hurley.
At some point, I am going to cap the Big East, but I need about another 3 weeks.
I need to know
interesting start
if and when Fedor is ever going to be eligible, and then I'll cap the Big East. That's Bet on It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook. No bets, no glory.